doing, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trage. I'm your host, Trage. Today, it is Friday. It is Friday preview. We are covering the entire weekend. And today, like I mentioned yesterday, if you guys didn't get a chance, you better check out that interview with Austen Humpty there. But he is actually joining the podcast here. He's going to be jumping on whenever he can to just get us some tales and tell us a little bit about what he thinks is wrong with Wisconsin sports. Because there's something wrong.
I'm back. I'm back to rant.
He is here, so welcome to the show, Austen. We're glad that you're here.
Of course, I'm glad to be back. Second day in a row, baby. Let's get it.
He is fired up. Everybody is fired up for this Badger, Packer, Bucks weekend. I mean, the Bucks had a game last night. We're going to be talking about that first here. The Bucks got the win against the 76ers, 118-117. Son of a gun, they couldn't just pull it out there late and just win it easy. They had to let the 76ers get back into it. But in this one, the Bucks did impress there in the first half. Damian Lillard looked good in his first game with the Bucks there. 39 points in the game there. 9 for 20 from the floor, 4 for 12 from downtown. Giannis added 23. Brook Lopez with 13 in this one. Middleton kind of he didn't play a lot of minutes. He didn't have a lot of minutes in this.
He was a little quiet. 6 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Not too shabby, but for Middleton, it's a little quiet night for him.
I think he's slowly starting to get back into the groove yet. He's not
first game,
Yeah, I mean, 16 minutes on the game. He's not fully back from injury yet. But, boy, it was impressive. Bobby Portis looked good off the bench there. Jay Crowder actually played a lot of minutes. I was impressed with how much Griffin played the bench for this Bucks.
Yeah.
He got minutes in there. We didn't see that out of Budenholzer. He liked to stick with his guys, the guys that he trusted. Griffin, he spread it out. He went 5 deep on the bench there. He was rolling with 10 guys in this one. That was impressive to see out of this Bucks team.
Yeah, you see a lot of guys over the teens mark that are on the bench, lost 16 minutes again, 20 minutes, 19 minutes. Pat Connaughton off the bench had 7 points, 20 minutes, So you see a lot of these guys, he's definitely using the bench a lot. Even Cameron Payne got in there for 9 minutes. So definitely using the bench quite a bit there.
Yeah, and the scoring was spread out. That's what you like to see. You don't want to see all the time Giannis and Lillard are going to be your stars. But you don't want to just see those guys. You want to get the rest of the guys, the cast of characters involved. And that's what they did. I mean, it was across the board scoring from all 10 guys who got into this one. And seeing especially Jay Crowder, we watched how little Budenholzer used him last year in the playoffs down the stretch. And Bobby Portis did come out and say, well, Budenholzer only uses the guys that he trusts. Well, now that we're getting Griffin in here, Griffin's allowing these guys to play. And I think Crowder is going to help out a lot on the defensive end. You see what the Bucks did back in 2021 there when they won the championship. They had a guy like P.J. Tucker on the team, a defensive-oriented guy. I think Jay Crowder can bring that to this team. He can score it a little bit, but he's going to bring that defensive dynamic to there. And you look what they did against Embiid tonight. He had 24 points, but 9 for 21 from the field. That's an impressive showing against Embiid, kind of forcing his hand, getting some missed shots there. I thought that was impressive.
Yeah, very impressive against the former MVP, too. And the Bucks played against P.J. Tucker tonight. He was kind of matched up on Giannis. He had the job of guarding Giannis, it seemed like. And, Giannis scoring 23 points, not bad for Giannis. P.J. Tucker kind of did a decent job at limiting him. But then you look at P.J. Tucker, he had 0 points. So I'll take Jay Crowder scoring 9 points over P.J. Tucker scoring 0 points.
Exactly. I think you got kind of an advancement there with Jay Crowder over P.J. Tucker. Don't get me wrong, I love P.J. Tucker. But
I did love P.J. Tucker.
I think they got a little bit better on the offensive end with Jay Crowder on this team. And you know what's good with Giannis doesn't have to do it all now. With Drew Holiday, Holiday could score it, but he wasn't a dynamic scorer. Damian Lillard can score it when he needs to, and that's what we saw in this one. Giannis he didn't have to shoot all the time in this one. You look, he still put up 22 shots, but in a game like this with having Lillard at his back, he didn't have so much pressure on him. He could play a little bit more free, and I think that's going to add another dynamic to this Bucks offense as the season goes on.
Yeah, it seemed like last year was kind of Middleton, the secondary scorer there. Drew Holiday, he would have his nights, but not putting up 39 points on the first night of regular season. You didn't see that from Drew Holiday. More of a defensive player, I'd say. So Giannis kind of had to rely on Middleton. Then when Middleton went down with injury, it was kind of like, oh, well, we want to see Drew Holiday step up, and it just didn't seem like he could at the end there. He kind of
Yep.
lagged behind, I'd say, but having Damian Lillard, huge pickup. Giannis can pass the ball a little bit more, can be a little bit more dependent now on other people instead of just being independent himself there.
Oh heck yeah! And you have a dynamic third scorer now in Middleton. I mean, it's crazy to say a guy who can score it like Middleton is now your third best guy. You would think Giannis and Dame are your two best guys on this team. So now Middleton's your third best, and that, I mean, he can still ring it up when he has. So I mean, that is a heck of a team you're putting together right now, especially having a guy like Splash Mountain too, who can still. I mean, when he
Brook
gets
Lopez,
hot,
yeah.
he gets hot. I mean, they got right now. They are sitting pretty. The only spot that I think they could possibly, if they wanted to improve, would be the shooting guard spot with Beasley. I don't. I'm not. I
Yeah,
don't have Beasley, but I think they could do an improvement there with Beasley.
30. He had 31 minutes off the. Oh no, he started tonight. He had 31 minutes, 5 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Um, it
They
seems
put
like
up a
he's
lot.
just kind of yeah. It seems like he's just kind of a guy that's just kind of filling in for the spot.
Yeah,
Um,
almost like a Joe Ingles was last year.
yeah,
Kind of, he's
yeah.
there. He can put shots when he has to do it, but otherwise he's just going to be the passer.
He's just a passer, just a facilitator, maybe. I don't know. Just kind of there, and maybe later down the road we get somebody that can fill that spot, or even he can step up and start making even more shots. That'd be great for the Bucks. Be huge.
Oh heck yeah, heck yeah, heck yeah. So that, anyways, the Bucks get the win, 118 to 117. I don't. I'd have to check here when the
The
Bucks
thing
play.
the thing I will say is 76ers did not have James Harden tonight. He's
Yeah, they
did
left
not
them
play for them.
behind.
Left him
They left.
behind in Philly.
Yep. And now
So
I saw the NBA is investigating that because of some Players Act or something like that. They cannot.
right.
You can't legally do that. And they told him, like, dude, you're not getting on the bus. This isn't happening. And because he showed up to Philly. He had his bags packed. He was ready to go. And they told him,
Yeah.
no, you're not getting on the bus.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's basically telling us James Harden's going to get traded. Now, where? That's a good question. I think
It's a great
the
question.
Clippers, maybe the
Maybe
Clippers.
the Bucks?
I don't.
I
We
don't
don't
want
want
him. I don't want him. We
Send
got
him
Dame.
down.
We got Dame.
We can send him to the Rockets and just get rid of him for the rest of his career.
Yeah. But
So the
either way,
next, when do they play next year? They play on the 29th. So that will be, what is it, next week?
let me see here.
Next-
Next week,
next
this
week.
Sunday.
Wait, where am I looking? I'm in November right now. Sunday. They play on Sunday. I was in November. I was looking at my calendar. I'm not very good with technology.
You're just looking forward to Thanksgiving already. All right?
Thanksgiving already happened according to my calendar. We were getting past the Packers. You know why? Because the Packers play the Lions around that time there on Thanksgiving. I don't want to watch that. So I was just hoping that we were past that portion already and we were done with it. We were just done and over with it. So they got the
Yep.
Hawks coming up on Sunday. So we'll talk about that a little bit. The Hawks are 0-1 coming to this one. They just got beat by the Hornets. The Charlotte Hornets took care of them. 116 to 110. So looking at this one, Bucks are favored. We would figure that going into this one here. Trae Young still balling out with the Hawks so far. He had 23 points in that first game. 21% from the field, though, so not a very good showing, shooting the wise. Putting up a lot of shots, it looks like.
Yeah, you're looking at the Hawks minutes. They have a lot more guys in the 30 and 20-minute range. So it seems like they're trying to play primarily their starters a little bit. I see DeAndre Hunter's up there out of Virginia. He's been there in the league for a little bit now, and Clint Capella, their starter center. So he's up there. He's been in the league for a while. Trae Young 23, Clint Capella 15. Kind of seems like it's all over scoring for them too. So it'll be interesting to see how the Bucks go up against the Hawks in that game on Sunday.
Yeah, and the Hawks will actually have a game tonight. Tonight they're going to have a game at 6:30 against the Knicks, so we don't know how that's going to fare, or how the Hawks will be sitting going into that Bucks game. But they're going to be coming on short rest. They just played Wednesday night, they played tonight, and then they're going to play on Sunday right away too. So they're going to be on short rest. So they're going to maybe have to dig a little bit deeper on that bench there. Like we're not seeing it so far out of them, but they might have to dig a little bit deeper here because they're going to play a lot of games. Looks like they play Sunday and then they actually play Monday right away. They back-to-back nights. They're going to have the Timberwolves right after the Bucks there. So they have a loaded up schedule to start the front half of the season game wise. So interesting to see what the Hawks will do in that one.
Yeah, and hey, there's a guy out of Wisconsin, Jalen Johnson, on the Hawks too. He's a second-year player, so it'll be fun to watch it when he plays against the Bucks.
Not a fan. He went to Duke. Not a fan.
Not a fan. Just point him out. It's the Wisconsin sports show, so just point him out.
Okay. I'm sorry. He's a Duke alum. Wisconsin fans, we hate Duke because 2015 national championship, ball went off Winslow's finger. Everybody saw it. My mom's a huge Duke fan. She saw it, and yet
we don't got to talk about it. It was how many years ago? All right.
How often do we get to a national championship?
It might be a while.
Thank you. So we have to talk about it because it's the last time. It's like talking about the Brewers. Why do we talk about 1982 so much with the Brewers? Because that's the last time we went to the World Series. We didn't even win it. We just win.
Yep.
But that's enough about that. It's enough about the Bucks because we have a weekend full of. I don't know if it's going to be great football. I cannot promise great football. But we have a weekend full of football. We have, first off, the Badgers on Saturday, 6:30 on NBC against Ohio State. Oh, baby. This game is setting up to be, I'm trying to find the right word to go with for this game. It could be it could be a catastrophe. It could be a disaster. or there's like a 0.001% chance. It could be the greatest thing we've ever watched.
That would be insane.
Like it's the one germ that your Purell cannot kill. Like 99.9% that Purell is going to take. That 0.1% is the Badgers' chances of beating Ohio State.
It's there. It's there for sure.
Yeah, that's what. There's always hope. You play the lottery. There's hope. There's hope in this one. And going into this game, prime time, there's a couple things that the Badgers could do in this game that could potentially, and I'm not saying it's 100%. This is gonna do it. But there are some things that the Badgers can do in this game to kind of even the playing field against Ohio State. Number one and foremost, they're going to have to put pressure on Kyle McCord, quarterback for Ohio State. Now, McCord has been playing a great season so far. 131 for 205, 1,937 yards through the air, 12 touchdowns, and 1 interception. So he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. But if the Badgers can put pressure on McCord and make him make throws that he doesn't want to make, you give him too much time, these talented receivers for Ohio State will burn. They're going to make big plays happen. So you're going to have to control the line of scrimmage against Ohio State. That's where I think the Badgers can jump on them in this one. The offense for Ohio State, I like to say, okay, McCord's playing a great season, but he's not C.J. Stroud. He's not Barrett. He's not even Pryor before that. He's not your typical quarterback from Ohio State that's going to torch you in every facet. He's a great quarterback, don't get me wrong. But there are holes in his game, and I think the Badgers can take advantage of that in this one. What do you think about that?
I think the biggest thing is trying to force a turnover for the Badgers. Get a little momentum. Maybe if we get a little pressure, you'll strip sack fumble there. That would be huge.
Camp Randall's going to be sold out. It's going to be sold out.
100%.
With that turnover, that could be the roof's going to blow off the place if you turn them over early.
Yeah, and I don't remember when it was. It was probably 2010, 2011 when J.J. Watt was there. Number one, Ohio State comes to the building, and J.J. Watt gets or lights up the
I
Ohio State
tell you what,
offense.
I tell you
And
what, if Shimmeray DK houses the opening kickoff, like David Gilry housed the opening kickoff in that one, if Shimmeray DK houses it, I will literally shit my pants. I will literally go on YouTube on my phone, look up that video, and be like, okay, what has to happen next for Wisconsin to win this game? Because it's all there. I mean, you had to have. You look at the makeup of these teams. Just hear me out. Braylon Allen, John Clay. John Clay was one massive running back.
pretty
Braylon
big
Allen,
guy.
one massive running back.
Yep.
Nobody really, we knew who J.J. Watt was as Badger fans before this game, but this game against Ohio State made J.J. Watt stand out.
Mm-hmm.
Is there that guy on Wisconsin's defense? They took advantage. They got hot early against Ohio State, and they never looked back. Ohio State came back in that one and almost won the game late. But Wisconsin was able to hang on. They did what they had to do to win that game. That was a game Wisconsin wasn't expected to win. This game, 87% chance right now ESPN's giving Ohio State to win this game against the Badgers. The Badgers are actually, it's the first time they have been 14-point underdogs. So that more than whatever. So 14 is the biggest they've been in 30 years at Camp Randall. That's nuts.
Yeah.
If you get the atmosphere, you get it rolling like you said, it could be, and we know we have to talk far-fetched. We have to talk far-fetched. In the back of our heads, we're like, Ohio State's coming to town. This could get ugly fast.
Yeah.
The fan in us has to think, what can Wisconsin do to win this game? And I think the atmosphere is going to be a key in this one. But I like that. I like the turnover. The turnover, an early turnover of McCord to kind of shake them, to realize, oh, baby, they came to play. If you can knock them in the mouth, I think this game changes. I really do think it does. You have to, like you said, put the pressure on them to make the plays. Because otherwise, if you're playing from behind, like we've seen the past couple of years against Ohio State, I think wasn't it last year? It was like 28-0 before it was like 3 minutes in.
Yeah, it was brutal last year. That was at the shoe, so not fun to watch.
That was a disaster. That was one of the worst games I think I've ever.
That's what I call a catastrophe right there. That's what we're trying to avoid this year.
And I think Wisconsin can. I think they can. I don't think they're going to win this game. If I had to be honest, I don't think they're winning the game. I think they can score a couple. I think they can score a little bit, and I think they can keep it reasonable. I don't think they're going to get. You look at what Ohio State has done this season against like Maryland, 37-17. Notre Dame, they beat them 17-14. You look at that Purdue game, Ohio State won that one 41-7. Wisconsin's had their shape up with Purdue, and they scored reasonably along with what Ohio State did in that one. Purdue struggling defense, but Wisconsin has the makeup. If the defense can hold, and I think the defense is going to be key in this one for Wisconsin. If the defense can put pressure on McCord, I think it could be a game changer. I don't know if it changes the game completely, but I think it could be a game changer.
You put pressure on McCord, and then it'll be interesting to see what our D-backs can do. They got Marvin Harrison Jr., top player in the nation, arguably, right now at wide receiver. So try to limit his reception somehow. Badger going to have to play a perfect game.
That is another key to this one. It's going to be a perfect game on both sides of the ball. No turnovers, nothing that you cannot get this. You have to be able to. I think another key is going to be get Braylon Allen involved and don't let up with it. If Braylon Allen's cracking off 4 or 5 yards of carry and they can't stop him, just let him go. I don't want to see you take a shot. I don't want to see you take a shot. I want to see if Wisconsin, go back to Paul Chryst offense. Run it up the middle. Make your offensive line learn how to block for one game. Let Braylon Allen, the best player on your offense, do what he's got to do. And if you have to throw the ball, if you get the run game going, you can set yourself up with a 3rd and 4. Don't try to throw it first down, second down. Now you're 3rd and 10. Set yourself up with some little to no yards to gain here, and then utilize the short game. You look at these defenses in college football, the NFL, they really play lax defense now. They don't pressure up. They're going to give you 5 yards. They want to make the tackle there. take advantage of those situations and crack off 5 yards at a time. Crack off maybe 7. Let your playmakers, Shimmery DK, Will Pauling, Williams, I'm missing a guy in there right now. What the heck's his name? Bryson Green. Those guys are dynamic athletes. They can make moves in the open field. Let them do the work for you. Don't put Braden Locke in situations where he's got to throw it into double coverage because everybody else is covering here. Make the game easy for Braden Locke. This defense for Ohio State is great. They're fantastic. So everything's got to be quick. You're going to have to out-scheme them. You're going to have to be smarter than Ohio State. Smarter than Ryan Day. I don't like Ryan Day. So I think the Badgers can be, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to play a perfect game against this Ohio State defense.
Yeah, Braden Locke, it'll be interesting to see how he does. It'll be his second start in his career as a Badger. I mean, he was able to pull off the win against Illinois last week, obviously, but yeah, I feel like he's just going to have to get the ball into his playmakers' hands. That's kind of what we're looking at right now. Make them win the game for you right there. And hopefully our defense holds up.
Phil Longo is going to have to draw up some crazy shit. He's going to have to draw up that stuff that you wouldn't imagine was going to happen because Ohio State's going to scheme for Braylon Allen. They're going to scheme for Wisconsin's pass game. They're not like Michigan. They're not sending a guy to the stadium. They're watching the game film. They know what Wisconsin has. So they're going to scheme for that. Draw up some crazy crap. Badgers used to run one heck of an end around where that wide receiver came in motion and he took off. Bring that back to the table with Shimmery DK or another one of these wide receivers. Something that's going to throw Ohio State off. Something that's going to throw them for a loop. Maybe draw something up for Braden Locke to have the potential to run. Nobody is going to fear Braden Locke running the football. He's not that fast. But Braden Locke, if you send everybody on specific routes to clear out the field for him, let him run with it. Get 5 yards, whatever it is. Tell him to get down when he gets out there. He can run. It's not like he can't run. The guy can run. He's just not a dynamic runner. So I think in this one, it's going to be about what can Phil Longo draw up to out-scheme Ohio State's defense? What is going to be the craziest crap that he can throw out there that's just going to baffle everybody else? Who called the plays back when Wisconsin beat Ohio State the last time? Paul Chryst. Paul Chryst was the offensive coordinator at Wisconsin. It was like a 3rd and 7. Wisconsin was winning late, and he drew up a pass. They were winning. It was like 2 minutes to go. You would think you would just stick with the run game and trust your defense. He drew up a pass, got the tight end wide open in the middle of the field. Stuff like that, the unorthodox stuff that you would not expect, that's what I think Wisconsin has to do in this one to really put a damper in Ohio State's game plan.
Who knows? It might take a trick play too. That'd be fun to see.
One of the linemen.
A little, throw a nice little fade ball to Rucci out there for a touchdown again, huh? A little old lineman screenplay like when Dietzen back. I don't even know how long ago that was, but Dietzen scored a touchdown old lineman against Illinois. Who could have seen that? Who could have seen that coming? I saw
the funniest comment the other day. A guy posted. He's like, after Rucci caught that touchdown, he goes, "Yeah, Paul Chryst would have never drawn up anything like that." And some guy commented back, and he goes, "He did. Same exact field, same end zone, same play, 2 linemen. Watch this." And he posted the video on there.
Yeah.
I laughed hard. I was like, "Yeah, he told you so." I didn't know Paul Chryst had either.
Yep, got him.
But another thing with the Badgers in this one, you're 14-point underdogs, like we said. Take some risks. You're gonna have
nothing to lose. You got nothing to lose.
I'll take the quote that you gave me yesterday when you guys played Whitewater. They have everything to lose. We got nothing to lose. Basically like that. You look at this season for the Badgers right now, you're coming off of, you have a loss to Iowa. You lost to Washington State early. This game, I mean, you're out of the college football playoff. You're out of the New Year's Six Bowls, basically. So this game here, it's really Ohio State needs this win to stay in the college football playoff. So if you knock them in the mouth and you get them antsy, that will be key. Take some risks in this one. Maybe it's a flea flicker. Maybe it's Braylon Allen standing in the backfield taking the snap. Anything just completely unorthodox. Maybe you send Braden Locke out there as a wide receiver. I don't know. Everybody does that these days. Maybe Braden Locke goes out there as wide receiver.
Throw it to him.
Something that's going to throw Ohio State off in this one and be like, okay, we did not scheme for this. What the heck's going on? This is a great defense. How do you take advantage of that? You throw some crazy crap, like we said in there. Phil Longo, it's going to have to be the perfect game. It will have to be the perfect game for the Badgers to win this one.
Yeah, and hey, you look at Wisconsin; they're 3-1 in conference. They're at the top of the Big Ten West right now. You know how huge of a win against Ohio State would be. You know, Iowa, they just lost to Minnesota in a close, controversial, close game there. We still have to play Minnesota, Nebraska, and Northwestern. We beat Ohio State. That gives us a lot of momentum into those next 3 games that are very crucial for us to even just to even sneak in to the Big Ten championship, which could help us, get into that New Year's Six Bowl.
And it could knock Ohio State right out of the college football playoff, and that would be awesome.
Which I'm not opposed, right there.
But you know what would suck? Every year that the Badgers have had the chance to beat Ohio State, stay perfect on the season, and go to potentially the college football playoff, and the one year there's no shot at all they beat Ohio State, that'd be a tough deal.
That would be pretty disappointing. But I mean,
yeah.
Hey, I'll take a win over Ohio State no matter what.
I'll take her. We'll take her to the bank on that one. So that is the Badgers, 6:30 NBC at Camp Randall. If you're not going to the game, make sure you're checking it out on NBC. Or if you're out and about, Matt LePay and Mike Tauscher. I like Mike Tauscher on the radio. I thought he's actually done pretty good right now. He brings a little bit of excitement there with Matt LePay. It's hard for somebody to be a co-star with Matt LePay because he's just so freaking good. But
Matt LePay
Mike Tauscher's done a pretty good job.
Good.
He is. And I mean, so if you're out and about, you can't watch the game, tune in on the radio there. Wherever you get Wisconsin sports on the radio, you can check out the game there. But with that, we're going to jump over into the Packers because, well, as much as we want another bye week, the Packers will be in action against the Minnesota Vikings. It's in Lambeau. It's at noon. The Vikings are favored right now. 57% chance they're going to win this one, according to ESPN Matchup Predictor, is what we're getting out of this. So far, looking at the injury report, I did see that Jair did not practice for Green Bay. Just trying to pull up the official injury report here quick. Looks like as of Thursday, so yesterday there, Jair did not practice. Luke Musgrave did not practice. His ankle is bothering him now. And Preston Smith did not practice. He's got an illness right now. No idea what's going on with him right now. But in good news for the Packers, Devondre Campbell, Elton Jenkins, both of them did practice. And it also looks like Josh Myers was back at practice, limited, but he was back. Let's see, Christian Watson was a full go on Thursday. So, well, depending on who you are, good news for the Packers there. Devontae Wyatt was limited at practice again.
Yep.
That knee is still giving him issues. At some point, it just killed you. And it looks like Zane Anderson was a full practice. So, Devondre Campbell possibly on his way back. Elton Jenkins is getting healthy here. Josh Myers is limited. He's back. Nijman, how do you say his name? Yosh? Nijman? Nyman. There we go. Nyman sounds right. We're not good at pronouncing names here. We're going to go with Yosh. We're going to call him Yosh. He is at limited practice on Thursday, too. So we're going to have to wait until this weekend to really see who's going to be out there. Out of those injuries, which one do you think affects the most? Aaron Jones was also limited at practice again. Which one of those injuries are you most excited to see them get back out on the field? Who's going to give the most impact to this Packers team?
I got to say Devondre Campbell. Now our linebackers are atrocious. I don't want to say atrocious, but they're iffy. I mean, we got McDuffie. I mean, there's some guys that are playing linebacker that I've never heard of, and I'm a pretty big Packer fan. And especially when Quay Walker was out, I'm like, who are these guys playing? And you wonder why we lost to the Raiders. So I think it'll be good for the Packers to get Devondre Campbell back. Jair, that's kind of huge. Keep him playing, especially since Jay Jettas for the Vikings is out. Justin Jefferson is out, I'm pretty sure, still.
Yeah,
So,
but Addison is playing well for that Vikings
so
team.
Addison is playing very well for the Vikings, and that's why I think it would be huge for Jair to hopefully get back into season form for us and play pretty good
Can't
football.
keep that healthy, right? But yeah,
And
Devondre Campbell, especially because that run game sitting at, I think they were ranked 30th in the league right now in rush yards allowed. So not doing too hot in the run game.
hopefully we get Preston Smith back. He's a huge player. Because so far our D line, it seems like, has been the strong point in our defense for us for sure. And then anything for O line. Honestly, you tell me what's most important. Okay, they're all important at this point for the Green Bay Packers,
You
especially on the
know,
O line.
and we've talked about it on here. We've talked about it here on Wisconsin Sports on the Go. We talked about the struggles of the Packers, and I've gone off about it and saying, who sucks, what needs to happen, blah, blah. And I kind of look back at it. The Packers, we didn't, if this team would have gone 10 wins, 11 wins, made the playoffs, that'd been awesome. It'd been over the top better than what we expected. They aren't playing great football. What I'm mostly concerned about is, and actually, it's kind of sparked my interest was listening to Bill Michaels talk about it too. And what sparked my interest there is what he said, and I completely agreed with. I never thought about it that way. The constant mistakes by this Packers team, week after week, the same mistakes over and over again, is what really gets you. I didn't think about that factor of it. They're a young team, and I factored that in. But I never factored in that it's week after week. It's the same issues over and over again. Whether it's Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs are running the same exact route, and they run into each other. Or the offensive line is terrible. Or Jordan Love tries to throw the deep ball, and he underthrows the guy by 15 feet, and he gets picked off. The constant mistakes over and over again. Or the penalties even before the snap is made. We got so many false starts. Everything else in between there. The mistake after mistake that is constantly killing this Packers team. I never thought about it in that aspect till I heard it. The mistakes for this Packers team have been killing them. And leading into this Vikings game, I don't care if the Packers win. I really don't. What we want to see right now is the Packers do something to improve. I don't want to hear another Matt LaFleur press conference where he comes out and he tells me, this one's on me. I did something wrong in this game, and we need to improve. What are you going to improve this week? I really would like to know, what are you going to improve? Because we haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen any improvement. The focus for this Packers team is off. There's no focus. And if you cannot get your team to focus as a head coach, somebody else needs to come in there and take your job. Because if you can't do it, as the head coach of the football team, who's going to do it? You need to get somebody in there that's going to level with these guys and be like, this is what has to happen. You look at, like, the Patriots, that's a well-oiled machine. When Tom Brady was there, you could plug and play any receiver you wanted, and Bill Belichick and that coaching staff was going to make it work. That's just what they did. They were just so good at making it work. You look at the Kansas City Chiefs right now. Patrick Mahomes doesn't need a receiver. I mean, Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes are the best duo that you could have. But wide receiver-wise, we had Valdez-Scantling on the Packers for years. Aaron Rodgers didn't make him look good. Goes out to Kansas City. All of a sudden, Scantley's a great receiver. And you look at Juju. Yep, won a Super Bowl. Juju goes out there. Patrick Mahomes makes him look great. Andy Reid's offense makes him look great. So you wonder what is going on in Green Bay that's making, Valdez-Scantling not look like he does in Kansas City. We had Aaron Rodgers, and it's undeniable that Aaron Rodgers was a great quarterback. So what's the difference? Play calling. Putting guys in positions to succeed. That's where the difference is in these teams, and that's where the difference is in Green Bay right now. If Matt LaFleur cannot figure it out, and I don't mean win out the rest of the season. I don't mean beat the Chiefs, beat the Lions, somehow end up winning the NFC North, going to the playoffs, and getting the NFC Championship. I don't mean that with Matt LaFleur. I mean figuring out how to get your team to focus and improve week after week, so that way, come the end of the season, we don't have to say, do we have to go into the draft and get a quarterback here because we don't know about Jordan Love? Run an offense that works for Jordan Love if that's going to be the case.
Yeah, it seems like this is the first time that Matt LaFleur has to overcome a little adversity as a coach here. As a head coach, especially for the Packers, he doesn't have Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't have all the playmakers that he wants. He's got to come up with something. Try and get Jordan Love into the game to make some plays. Make him feel comfortable again, like he did when we played against the Bears Week 1. Like, where was that? Where's that Jordan Love? That's what I'm wondering. It seemed like everything started to go downhill when Jordan Love decided to do a quarterback sneak before started. That's when stuff started to go downhill, and then
It went down so
and
fast.
then and it just seems like the Packers have been more of a fourth quarter team. You look at the Saints come back in the fourth quarter. Broncos, they failed attempt, but I mean it looked like their best quarter was pretty much the fourth quarter. And then Lions, I didn't really watch that game. It was kind of bad because we got started bad. But it seems like we've just been like a fourth quarter team. We need to be scoring at least in the first half, and just right now we're not doing that. So maybe against the Vikings we'll be able to get that first half scoring. Vikings don't have an old. I mean, I guess like last week against 49ers they had a pretty good D, but I didn't think going into the season they had a overly very good defense. So, I think there are areas on the Vikings that we can definitely take advantage of and get an early score and just kind of ride the wave, with Jordan Love.
Yeah, and right now it's especially with the Vikings, it's knocking T.J. Hawkinson off this game, kind of getting him out of the picture. If you can take T.J. Hawkinson out of the picture right now with this Vikings team, that takes a weapon away for Kirk Cousins and this Vikings offense. Addison's been playing great, but you can still win this game against Kirk Cousins. I mean, he's not an over-the-top quarterback. He doesn't do anything crazy. He does things consistently. So if you can get pressure on Kirk Cousins, make him pressured in the pocket, maybe knock T.J. Hawkinson off his game and try to handle Addison, I like the chances of the Packers there. The pass defense for the Packers is ranked like 8th in the league right now. So in total, they're the 16th best defense in the league right now because the 30th rank in rushing and the 8th in the pass evens itself
Split
out
the
there.
difference, carry the
Split
two.
the difference right there, pretty much.
Yeah,
But yeah, going into this one, you look at like you were saying with Matt LaFleur and this Packers offense, simplify the game for Jordan Love. You talked about week 1 there against the Bears. What was working? The run game was working, and the short stuff. They were doing a lot of wide receiver screens. They were doing a lot of dump passes. The simple things that just kickstarted the offense. They're going to open up some of these deeper shots. You don't have to take shots. I saw an interview with Jordan Love was talking, Matt LaFleur talked, and they said, well, we have to take shots. Big chunk plays are what win football games. No. I mean, maybe if you watch the Kansas City Chiefs and you want to win a shootout against Patrick Mahomes, then you're going to have to make big chunk plays because he scores in 30 seconds. Patrick Mahomes can have his team in the red zone. I mean, he's just nuts. But the defense does their part. You control the clock. You do simple stuff in this ball game, the dump pass, the wide receiver screen. Look at against the Broncos when they took that deep shot to Watson. Who was standing wide open in the middle of the field with about 40 yards to run? A.J. Dillon. You give A.J. Dillon the ball there, you have a first down. If you don't get a first down, it's 4th and 4. The dump passes are open. That's how they walked down the field there against the Broncos, was with that dump pass. So in this game, take advantage of it when it's there. Especially, and I don't want to see Aaron Jones out there for 18 carries. If Aaron Jones is healthy enough for 18, he's healthy enough for 20 plus. Easily healthy for 20 plus. If this game comes down to another situation where you need a late game drive, I want to see Aaron Jones in there. He is your best player on your offense. That is hands down. He is your playmaker. That is Aaron Jones. This wide receiver core, they have some guys on there, but they haven't fully developed. I don't trust Christian Watson to stay healthy. He gets hit one time. He's like a piece of paper in water. It just folds up and crumbles. I mean, that's Christian Watson for you. Romeo Doubs, I like Doubs. I think Doubs could develop into a pretty good receiver. I think he still needs time. And Reed, I like Reed. I think Reed could develop yet too. But all these guys need development periods yet for this Packers team. So right now, who's your one guy on your offense that's your playmaker who's a veteran? Aaron Jones. And if this offensive line is healthy, And that's going to be another key with the offensive line is keeping Daniel Hunter out of the backfield there with these tackles for the Packers. But if they can keep him out of the backfield and control the offensive line or control the defensive line for the Vikings here, I think that adds another key to the Packers win here is the rushing game and getting that going. Because the Vikings don't really have a great running game. They got it going a little bit against the 49ers there, but they don't have a great run game. They're more reliant on the pass. So Packers, take advantage of it, use the clock when you have it, and try to burn some time off this game if you have to.
Yeah, and well, I'd say being an old lineman, the game starts and ends in the trenches. If the Packers can somehow take over the trenches and give Jordan Love just a little bit of time where he doesn't have to just chuck up the ball because he seems like he's just running out of time, we could definitely take advantage of some of that stuff. Giving Aaron Jones lanes to run is very helpful, and hopefully, like you said, if Aaron Jones is good for 18, he's probably good for 20 plus. I don't really want to see AJ Dillon out there a whole lot, unless if it's a third and short, maybe goal line.
Well, yeah, that's it. People started hating on AJ Dillon simply because they didn't understand AJ Dillon's not a number one running back. His job isn't to crack off 10 yards. His job, he's a bruiser. His job is when it's 3rd and 3, I give him the ball and he gets me 3. And he was showing that early on, but he wasn't cracking off the yardage like everybody wanted. He's not a number one running back. He's a 2. He's your 2. He's your guy you turn to in a short yardage situation when I need to barrel ahead. He's a fullback playing the running back spot. So exactly. I agree with that with Dillon. I don't want to see him out there on a passing play. I want to see Aaron Jones next to Jordan Love in the backfield there.
Especially with Aaron Jones being one of your best, sadly to say, probably one of your best wide receiver out there. You can.
Yep.
And Aaron Rodgers showed a lot of promise with that for Jones, throw it to him in Jones's early years, and he was able to come down with a lot of big catches. So, I guess we'll see against the Vikings here. It might be a dogfight. We might get blown out. Either way, I just want to see some improvement out of the Packers, offensively, defensively, coaching. Just see something. Give me some hope as a Packer fan. All right.
Something to build off of, that this thing doesn't need to be torn down and rebuilt. That's what it's trending towards right now.
Because let me tell you, our games do not get any easier. We got the Rams, Steelers, Chargers, Lions, Chiefs. We got the Giants. But who knows? Buccaneers. It's just we go through a gauntlet, man. We have some easy games in there. But
you try to tell me, when you look at that schedule, you try to tell me who you can guarantee a win against. Like that team that you're like, yeah, the Packers could win that
one. The Giants.
I don't see it. Maybe. Yeah, the Giants maybe. If Daniel Jones doesn't come back and start lighting the world on fire again. The Bears maybe, but the Bears have showed promise at times.
Like last week.
They have the Panthers on there. They could maybe get a win.
Yeah, but besides that, Steelers is going to be tough, even though Steelers are bottom of their they're like not as Steeler capability as they have been, but they're still a really good team. But yeah, Packers, their games do not get any easier as the weeks go along. But
no,
I guess
they do not.
Let's focus on Sunday, I guess.
So if you're an excited Packer fan and you want to watch this ball game against the Vikings, and if you're not heading down to Lambeau, it will be on at noon on Fox there this Sunday. So if you're not heading down to Lambeau to freeze there at Lambeau Field, it looks like the game time temp will be 41 degrees at Lambeau. So Kirk Cousins,
chilly.
He's used to the cold. Packers, they're used to the cold, so there's not going to be any advantage there. It's going to be, I think it'll be a dogfight there. I think it will be a dogfight.
Yeah, the Packers and Vikings are always close at Lambeau, it seems like. I mean, last year we blew them out, so you never know, But, yeah, definitely a dogfight for sure. In the cold.
Heck yeah. So with that, we're going to jump over into the college football slate for the weekend here. We covered the Badgers, but we have to talk about the top 25 and some matchups going on there in that top 25. So at 11, Florida State will face Wake Forest. I got Florida State in that one. What do you got?
Yeah, Florida State, that seems – I mean, Wake Forest doesn't have Sam Hartman anymore. He seemed like he was kind of the leader of the Wake Forest team the past few years, and now he's gone. So I got to take Florida State with that one.
I'm taking number 4, Florida State, to pull it off, just because our. Then we got at 11, Oklahoma and Kansas will be facing off in Kansas for that one.
I want to say Kansas. I want to say Kansas, but it's Oklahoma. It's got to be Oklahoma. I don't.
You wouldn't say it. I'm going to say Kansas. I got Kansas.
You're going to say
winning
Kansas?
It's going to even out the Big 12. Texas will have a loss. Oklahoma will have a loss. It'll set up a Big 12 championship for the ages. Winner gets into the college football playoff.
Imagine Kansas college football playoffs.
I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't even see it. James Madison's going to sneak in the back door.
They could. They're ranked 25th.
That's just true. We have Penn State, Indiana. They're also going to be at 11. I got Penn State in that one.
Penn State. I don't know. I don't think Indiana really has any firepower since since a couple years ago when they had them pretty good, that good run. But since then, they've kind of been.
And at 2:30, Graham Mertz is going to face a real defense there in Georgia. So I got Georgia in that one. I don't think Graham Mertz is going to have enough in the cannon to beat Georgia.
It's sad to say, but Graham Mertz has been playing better for Florida than he did for the Badgers. But it's Georgia, so and I mean, Florida could make a little upset. Georgia hasn't been the same Georgia as they have been in the past 2 years, but it's Georgia. It's Georgia Bulldogs. I gotta take Georgia on that one.
We're taking Georgia in that one. It's in the swamp, so that'll be the only thing going for it. It's in the swamp.
Yeah.
Next up at 2:30, we got number 7 Texas taking on BYU. I'm going to take the Longhorns in that one.
Yeah. Texas, yeah, I'd say I'd take Texas over BYU. BYU isn't kind of the same team as they have been in the past years either. So
I'm interested in seeing if Quinn, because Ewers is out. I think Murphy's going to start, but it will be interesting if Murphy struggles, if we will see the debut of Arch Manning for this Texas Longhorn team. That would be something.
And hey, doing that against BYU, not a terrible decision. You know, BYU isn't a overly huge opponent. So I mean, if he does struggle, and why not throw Marion in there, see what he can do against BYU?
If it's a blowout, I want to see him. I want to see him get in.
Throw him out there. Throw him out in the dog. Throw him out with the dog. You know, see what he can do.
And then at 2:30, we got number 8 Oregon taking on number 13 Utah, coming off a win against USC. That's going to be a good game. I think I have Utah winning that ball game.
You see, I was going to say Utah, but since you said Utah, I'll say Oregon.
He's taking Bo Nix and that Oregon. Then at 2:30, we have Notre Dame and Pitt squaring off there. Number 14, Notre Dame. I'll take Notre Dame in that one. I got Notre Dame over Pitt.
I don't know a whole bunch about Pitt. I know Notre Dame is coming off, or they did just beat USC, didn't they? So I'll take Notre Dame. I don't know a whole bunch about Pitt since the Kenny Pickett days. So
they're 2-5. That's all you need.
All right, yep, that's enough said right there.
Duke and Louisville will be squaring off in a top 25 matchup. It's still surprising Duke's in the top 25. I'm going to take Louisville in that ball game.
You know, I'm going to take Duke. The Blue Devils will upset Louisville. And, I mean, they played somewhat close to Florida State. Florida State's a pretty good team. They played somewhat close there in the beginning. I think Duke can make a little bit of a little shocker here and beat Louisville and try and get on their winning ways again.
There we go. And then we have number 22 Tulane is going to be taking on Rice. I am taking Rice in this one because I hate that Tulane is ranked, and I'm going to knock them out of the rankings with this loss to Rice.
Yeah, I'm going to go Tulane on that one just because they're one of the better group of 5 teams. You know, they were pretty good last year. They're good again this year. And I know nothing about Rice except for that it's food. So I'm going to take Tulane on that one.
We got Tulane and Rice there. We're going to lead up into USC and California. I am going to take USC. They've lost 2 in a row now. I've bet against them 2 weeks in a row. Now I'm going to come back and take them this week.
Yeah, I'm going to take USC on this one. I mean, I don't think Cal doesn't really have anything going for them, I'd say.
Yeah. Then at 6 o'clock, we're going to have Washington and Stanford. I am going to take Washington in that one. I think Washington will win this one going.
Yeah, they got Michael Penix, one of the Heisman. He's in the Heisman running, so I'm probably have to go with Washington on that one. Even though Stanford did play pretty good, they beat Colorado, came back, but I think Washington's just on a different level when it comes to that. So
Oh, yeah.
gotta go
Well,
with Washington.
Washington playing good football right now. Then at 6 o'clock, Air Force will be taking on Colorado State. I'm going to take Colorado State to win that game over Air Force.
Really, Air Force ranked number 19. That's kind of good for them. But I'm gonna go with Air Force. I'm gonna go with the military on this one. Why not? For our
What I've
troops on
got
that.
out of this is whatever I say, you're going to pick the opposite. So in our next game, there we have Tennessee and Kentucky. Number 21, Tennessee facing Kentucky. I think Kentucky knocks Tennessee out of the rankings here and drops them out.
Really, you know, Tennessee coming off a tough loss against Alabama last week. They might have to come back this week and prove that they're still Tennessee. I'm gonna have to go with Tennessee on this one. But I wouldn't be
Tennessee
mad
is
if Kentucky. I wouldn't be mad if Kentucky won. I wouldn't be mad.
in our next game. I want to test my theory here. 6:30, we got Ohio State and Wisconsin. I'm going to take Ohio State in this ball game here to win it. What do you got going into this one, huh?
I may be a Wisconsin fan, but I'm a realist. They got Marvin Harrison. They got Zach Henderson at their running back.
Yeah,
They got good quarterback. They just got that. It's going to be Ohio State. It might be a blowout, sadly. But hey,
I
if the Badgers get jumping around and hang around, could be Wisconsin. But I'm going Ohio State.
Ohio State in that one. And then on 6:30, we have Ole Miss and Vanderbilt. I have Ole Miss, number 12, Ole Miss, winning that ball game.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm gotta go Ole Miss on this one. Vanderbilt's, I'll just say, a shitter of a team in the SEC.
And then if you're checking out Ohio State, Wisconsin, and that turns into a blowout, also on at 6:30 on ABC is Colorado and UCLA. I got Colorado winning that game.
I'm going UCLA.
And then we have, yeah,
UCLA.
you guys can't see them dancing, but I can see them dancing. At 7 o'clock on the ACC network, we have the Tar Heels facing off against Georgia Tech. I got the Tar Heels winning this one coming off of a loss last week.
Yeah, I'm gonna go North Carolina. On the ACC network, huh? That's on Bally Sports still. I don't think anyone watches that, but I'm gonna go North Carolina Tar Heels.
Got the Tar Heels winning that one. And then we are looking at Old Dominion and James Madison squaring off at 7 o'clock. I'm going to take James Madison to win that ball game.
Hey, I'm riding with James Madison, ranked number 25. I don't think they're bowl eligible still as a D1 FBS team. They're seven, but they're undefeated. One of the last group of 5 teams that are undefeated. They're ranked number 25, and Old Dominion I don't think just has the power to knock them off this week.
And then if you just got done watching Wisconsin and you are still so excited because they somehow pulled off a miraculous upset, we have at 9:30 Oregon State, number 11, Oregon State facing Arizona. I'm going to take Arizona in this one. They surprised me against USC, and I think they're going to surprise and pull off an upset here against Oregon State. It's in Arizona, so I think that's going to be a help.
Hey, I was just going to say, Arizona, they've been playing some pretty good football considering how much of a bad team, a poverty team they were the past few years. But it seems like they're coming back, and they did play USC pretty good. Oregon State, they've been playing pretty good. I think it's a very underrated 10:30 p.m. game on ESPN right there. Screw it. I'll take Arizona with you on this one. I'll agree. I'll agree for the upset on this. But if Oregon State wins, I should have went with them. But I'll go Arizona.
It's the right pick, but we're never wrong. We're never wrong.
Never wrong.
With that, that's the college football slate top 25 for Saturday. So into Sunday, we have some NFL football coming up for you. At noon, we have the Cowboys and Rams. I am taking the Cowboys in that ball game.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Cowboys too on that one.
And then also at noon, we have the Falcons and the Titans. I have the Falcons winning that ball game.
I'm gonna go with the Titans. Falcons they did play pretty good against the Buccaneers, but hopefully I don't really know if Derrick Henry's playing. Pretty sure he isn't injured.
I think so.
I'm not very sure, but Titans have been kind of there. They've been all right. I'm gonna go with the Titans over the
We got
Falcons
the
there.
Titans there. They have been 2-1 at home this year, and they are playing at home. So that could be the little boost. Next
Yeah, it's
at
all
noon,
you
we
need.
have the Saints and the Colts. I'm going to take the Saints in that ball game.
Yeah, Colts played pretty close with the Browns. They put up quite a bit of points against the Saints. I might have to go with the Colts. Maybe JT will be able to get the run game going. A little Minshew magic out there. I'm gonna go with the Colts.
Minshew magic. There we go. We have the Dolphins and the Patriots. The Patriots coming off an impressive win against the Bills. I don't know if you call it impressive. Bills have been struggling. But the Dolphins, I don't know what Mike McDaniels does down there that just makes Tua go and makes this off. But he is a master of something. And I'm going to take the Dolphins in this game.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. I'm gonna have to go with the Dolphins.
We got
They
the
just got
Dolphins.
everything. Yeah.
Next, we got a battle in New York. We have the Jets facing off against the Giants.
Yeah, this one kind of seems like the shitter of the week. Not gonna lie, but I'm gonna go with the Jets.
I got the Jets, too. I got the Jets in that one. Jaguars and Steelers. I like what the Jags have been doing as of late. Slow start, but they've came back a little bit. They're 3-0 on the road here. They're better when they play overseas. They win the Super Bowl if they played overseas.
They should just stay over there.
Pretty darn much. I got the Jags winning this game.
Yeah, I've liked the Jaguars. Steelers. Um, Steelers are
Defense.
4-2. Steelers are 4-2. They beat the Rams last week, but Jaguars 5-2. It seems like a pretty close matchup. I'm gonna go with the Jaguars though.
Jaguars win that one. Next, we have the Eagles and Commanders. Commanders have been struggling as of late. I'm going to take the Eagles to win this game.
Yeah, it seems like the Eagles are kind of a safe bet on this one. I'd say they've been pretty dominant so far. So for the most part, so I'm gonna take the Eagles, except for one.
Next,
One
we
loss.
have a battle of the 1 and 2 picks in this last year's draft. We have C.J. Stroud going up against Bryce Young in this one. The Texans and the Panthers. I like what D'Amico Ryans has done with this Texans team. 3-3 on the season. It doesn't really show it in the record there as being outstanding, but this Texans team has got something, and they're a contender. I don't know if they're a contender for. I wouldn't say Super Bowl, but I would say they're a contender in the AFC South, and they're a dangerous team in this regular season here. I have the Texans winning this game against the Panthers.
Yeah, I'm also have to agree with you on this one again because Panthers 0-6. Bryce Young hasn't seemed like he's been living up to the hype that people thought he was going to. And it could be early jitters, but they're 0-6. Texans 3-3. Seems like CJ Stroud's definitely been the better out of the two, so I'm gonna go with the Texans. Seems like they have a better overall team also.
Next, if you're ready at 3:05 on Fox, we have the Browns and the Seahawks. I like the Browns in this one. I like the Browns defense, and I think that will be the key in this one against the Seahawks.
Yeah, Browns defense, they scored 20 points for me in fantasy, clutch, last week. And their offense has been pretty good. They put up 30-some points against the Colts last week. So I'm gonna go with the Browns too, but don't count out the Seahawks. They got DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and they got a pretty good squad over there. But I'm gonna have to go with the Browns on this one too.
We got the Browns there. Next, 3:25, we have the Chiefs facing the Broncos. Just faced each other 2 weeks ago. I don't know who made the schedule, but they put them basically back to back. They play the Broncos once again. I have the Chiefs in this one.
Yeah, if they played against each other 2 weeks ago, I can't imagine nothing's gonna change within 2 weeks. So I'm gonna go with the Chiefs on this one.
Last time they played, it was 19-7 was the win, I believe. So, or the Chiefs pulled off that win. So in this one, I expect the Chiefs blowout. I think they'll take care of business this time around.
Yeah, and they got Travis Kelce back. So
exactly, they have the Swifties back in the world.
Yep.
Next, we have the Ravens and the Cardinals. I'm taking the Ravens in this ball game.
Yeah, Ravens impressive win last week against the Lions, blew them out. So, I mean, Cardinals.
I have never seen it on Fox where they cut from a game, and I have never seen it. He goes, it was the Ravens and Lions. I was watching it, and all of a sudden, I can't remember his name, but he comes on and he goes, due to what's going on in the Ravens and Lions game because of the score, we're now going to change you to a more competitive game. And then the Falcons game came on or something like that. I have never seen that. I have never once seen that watching football on Fox. I thought that was something nuts.
Yeah, that's kind of brutal for Lions fans right there. They just want to watch their game, but they're just good. At that point, they're probably not even watching anymore either. So
No,
good choice.
no.
Good, probably. Hey, Fox is just trying to make some money over there. They had to do what's better for their program.
I honestly liked it. I was like, I'm not really watching this game because it's a blowout right now. So
Yeah.
when they flipped it, I was like, oh, this is interesting. I didn't know you'd diss on a team like this, but that's cool.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm going with the Ravens against the Cardinals.
Ravens against the Cardinals there. 325, we have the Bengals and the 49ers. Brock Purdy is out in this one, so it's going to be Sam Darnold getting the start. I got the Bengals beating the 49ers in this one.
I might go with the 49ers. Joe Burrow hasn't looked like he's been up to the same Joe Burrow standards that we've seen the past couple of years. He started off pretty slow. 49ers got a pretty good defense. And Sam Darnold, maybe he'll have another shot to prove himself in this league, even though Brock Purdy's out. So I'm going to go with the 49ers over the Bengals.
We got the 49ers there. Then Sunday night, we have the Bears and Chargers. That's going to be something to watch. I am going to take the Chargers in that ball game.
Yeah, Chargers. Bears had a very good game last week, I'd say. They pulled out the dub. It was against the Las Vegas Raiders, though. But
yeah,
hey, they got that D2 quarterback. He's starting again for them. Even though I might be sleeping during this game, I'm gonna go with the Bears. Maybe they'll be able to pull something off there.
Bears on Sunday night, and the Raiders and Lions will face off on Monday night. Lions coming off a loss. I think they're a little irritated coming in this game against the Raiders, and I don't think it's a close one. I got the Lions.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Lions on that one. Raiders just, unless if Devontae Adams goes crazy, I can't see the Lions losing to the Raiders on Monday night.
No. And so that's it for our NFL slate for the weekend. We just got to jump into one more thing. Tonight, 7:03 start on Fox. The Diamondbacks and Rangers will be facing off. Zach Gallen will go up against Nathan Eovaldi for the Rangers. Who do you got? Who do you got in game one here for this series?
Game one, I'll go with the Diamondbacks game one. Shock them.
I like the Diamondbacks. I like the Diamondbacks game one. I think that sets the tone for the series there in this one. I think it's going to be a big win for the Diamondbacks. They're hot. It's undeniable. Yeah. They're hot. As Brewer fans, we saw it. If you're a Dodger fan, you saw it. And if you're a Philly fan, you're still crying about it right now. So I got Diamondbacks. And it is still proven that any team who beats the Brewers in the postseason is going to go to the World Series. The Diamondbacks made us believers one more year.
Yep. Another year that the Brewers lose to a team that makes it to the World Series.
When will it be our time? That's what I want to know. When will it be our time?
Probably never. Probably never, Trajan. It just doesn't happen.
Nope.
We're Wisconsin fans here.
We'll make it to the championship games. We'll make it to the game right before, but we will never go.
Yep.
But that is about all we have. Like we were talking, if you can't get to Camp Randall or Lambeau, if you're not heading to these games, make sure you're checking them out. 6:30 on NBC for the Badgers, and it's a noon game for the Packers. They're also the World Series starting up tonight. So with that, this has been Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trage. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Austen, for your first episode. It was a heck of an episode. We ran a little bit long, but we had a lot to talk about. So
we talked quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah, we did. We will catch you guys on Monday, but until then, deuces.